Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Dumpster Diaries. I am Moses Wartooth and I am here with
Justin Allen.
And as always, we got loads of shit to talk about. So, first off, did you catch the GOP debate?
Speaking of loads of shit.
You got a shit?
The GOP debate, man. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, I watched about 2 hours worth of it, you know. I think it was an hour 45, but where do we start with that?
So how many candidates were there?
Oh shit, man. Off the top of my head, I said there's like about 10.
10?
Yeah. There were some people I didn't even recognize.
And it was Republican.
Yeah, it was okay. Totally Republican, like GOP, yeah. Okay. It was all Republican. So this is a primary debate, so they get interviewed, right? Just like any debate or whatever. Mm-hmm. One of these people will be elected as the candidate for the general election, go on potentially to be president of the United States.
Gotcha.
But guaranteed, definitely, for the most part, one of those people at a minimum is going to be vice president as well. Kind of started checking it off the list of who that's not going to be. Mm-hmm. Mike Pence.
So, dude, yeah. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, dude. But, man, I don't even know where to start, man. I mean, it was entertaining, but there was definitely a lot of cringe moments, man.
Like, I watched a few clips of it, and it reminded me of a fucking reality show.
That's
like, just
literally
like
what it was.
Scripted drama type bullshit.
Yeah.
And like them just like talking over themselves, like fucking like jabs and stuff.
Ooh,
like,
you said what? Yeah. Yeah. Man, so I'm trying to think. I guess like the biggest topic, like, you know, to discuss off of that is Donald Trump was not there. Mm-hmm. Even though he's running for president, right? And he actually instead did an interview with Tucker Carlson on Tucker's new network that he's created or whatever.
Yeah.
And I watched that too. That's only like 45 minutes. I want to check it out. But so Tucker just straight up asked him. It was like one of the first questions. He was like, "Yo, like, why are you not at these debates?" I think they were happening like simultaneously, and he was just straight up like a gangster about it. He was like, "Bro," he was like, "I'm polling like over 50%. The next runner-up is Ron DeSantis with 19. After that, they dropped to the single digits. Like,
so he's like, I'm not wasting my fucking time with these peasants.
Yeah, he was like, there's no fucking point in me going there. He was like, as we get closer and things heat up, I might show up. But man, I was ready for the supreme leader to come out, man, and just fucking. I mean, because he's so entertaining to watch him.
But
debate,
if he would have came up, it would have just all been about him after that. Like, it just would have like ruined the fucking show.
It wouldn't even been a debate.
No, everyone would have just been shitting on him or talking to him, or like it just would have became about him.
It'd be like the roast of Donald Trump part 2.
Yeah, and he would have fucking been interrupting everybody like he always does anyway, which is funny as fuck. But
wrong.
Yeah,
you're wrong.
You're a liar.
Sit down.
Your wife is a dog.
Crooked. He actually in that Tucker Carlson interview, speaking of, like, remember how he used to call like Hillary like Crooked Hillary or whatever?
Yeah,
like he would always make nicknames over people.
Yeah,
that's what I miss the most.
Rocket Man.
I think what was it? I think someone told me that he was starting to call Ron DeSantis something. I can't remember.
Fuck, he's got a nickname.
He's probably got shit lined up.
I'm sure he does. Yeah, he like sits at home and just thinks of nicknames.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking win this one, you know. But yeah, dude, like God, dude, it was so fucking wild. But that Tucker Carlson interview was definitely interesting. I was gonna make a point, I just lost track because we were laughing. But anyway, that Tucker Carlson interview was definitely. Oh yeah. So he retired Crooked from Crooked Hillary, and he said this in this interview, and he was like, "And I gave that to Joe Biden." He was like, "So now it's Crooked Joe Biden." So like he's like just taunting this like fucking dude who's basically dying of dementia in the White House right now. So, but I don't know, man. Like, one thing I did notice is there was a lot of like vapid, vague talking. Like, that's one thing I just hate, dude. Like, the host, you know, they would ask like a question, like legit question, like, all right, what is your opinion about, boom, insert topic, right?
And they give the most indirect response.
And it'd be the most generic shit.
Yeah.
They'd be like, the founding fathers of this country. And like, it's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
Like I need answers for this shit right now,
like,
dude.
Shit is happening today. I need answers from today.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what people were doing 200 years ago.
But one dude, well, that's why I like. I mean, that's why I like RFK Jr., dude. Like, honestly, because he's like no fucking bullshit. But
yeah, he is a fucking straight shooter on that kind of stuff.
I'm telling you, man, they're not letting that dude on the stage, man. They're already trying to shut his shit up.
Him.
Yeah, I bought that book, The Real Anthony Fauci, that he wrote.
Oh yeah, I want to read that too.
I'm gonna start reading it. It's that book probably has the most fucking footnotes, like citations I've ever seen out of, like, outside of like a college like science textbook, man. I was like, good God almighty, this guy did some fucking research. But good question that was brought up by Joe Rogan if RFK Jr.'s lying, why the fuck hasn't he been sued by Anthony Fauci yet?
Yeah, that's a good fucking point.
You know? So, something to think about. But some of the candidates are cool. I mean, like, some people are like, you know, I don't know, getting excited about some of them. Like, Nikki Haley's running. She's the former governor of South Carolina. Okay. You know, she was good. I mean, she was like the ambassador to the United Nations and stuff. So she's not like an idiot.
Is she the only woman?
She's the only woman that,
was there? Okay.
Yeah. A lot of like former politicians, like the former governor of Arkansas was there. But there was one dude, his name is Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
They call him VR for short.
That makes sense.
And this dude, check this shit out. He's 38 now, but so he put in his ticket to run for president when he was 37 years old. Dog, that's only like 5 years older than us. You imagine some motherfucker being like, hey, dude, you want to be president of the United States?
Like, you goddamn right I do.
Dude, there ain't enough fucking money in the world to put me on that shit, dude.
Man, I will rule this country with an iron fist.
Lock her up.
Turn this shit around.
Y'all thought January 6th was crazy. Check this shit out. It's like, what the fuck? Tanks rolling down the street and shit.
Freedom isn't free.
Just like burning the Constitution as you're driving down in a tank. You're looking like fucking, what was it, Jake Paul when he fought Nate Diaz and rolled out in that goddamn tank?
Oh, yeah.
That was a cool fight, though, man. Getting off topic a little bit, but yeah, that was a cool fight, dude. Like, no knockouts or whatever, but the judges unanimously decided, I think it was only by a small margin, that Jake Paul actually won or whatever. But it was crazy. Everyone was like hyping Nate Diaz up like when he was coming out. You know, they always have like a show when they kind of come out.
Well, typically the Paul brothers are always like the fucking people. They're always hated for the most part. Like everyone always wants whoever they're fighting. They always want the other guy to beat their ass, and most of the time it doesn't fucking happen.
Yeah, and so like he's rolling out like in this. Nate Diaz is coming out and everyone's like freaking the fuck out, like, Nate, yeah, like, you know, everybody's trying to touch him and shit and everything. Yeah. And then it pans to like Jake's like introduction or whatever, right? And he's just rolling through like a tunnel, like in a fucking, like sitting on top of like a legit like tank that looks like it was used in Desert Storm or some shit. And there's no one there. Like, there's no one cheering for him. And then he goes out and just beats Nate Diaz's ass, which I thought was kind of cool. I mean, I think the guy's kind of annoying, Jake Paul, but like I mean, there's fucking no denying that dude's a real fighter. Like for real, that dude he can throw some goddamn punches, man. I
mean, I know they could beat the fuck out of me, but I'm still saying I'd still fight them for some cash. I don't care.
Anyway, back to shitting on politicians.
Fuck those guys, dude.
So the VR guy, he ran, or he's running for president. He's 38 years old, right? Mm-hmm. And
what nationality is he?
I am not 100%. I mean, he's American.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but
so ethnicity, like where his family's from and everything. I don't know, man. I mean, I really don't.
Vivek
might be Indian, maybe.
Like
he did. I mean, because you know they have basically opening statements where they introduce themselves, who they were they doing, and all this other shit. He did make it very, very known that his parents immigrated to America. And like basically,
I can tell that by looking at him, but
but they basically didn't have shit.
Okay.
And so he went on this whole thing about how, you know, he got an education. Then he went on to start like multi-billion-dollar like companies. So the traditional American dream story. Yes. So he did that, and I mean they kind of did him a little dirty when he told this story. So he tells this story, which it sounds good on fucking paper, and everyone up there was like shitting on him because of his age. Like, oh yeah, all the old people who are like, oh, you fucking youngster. Yeah, because like Mike Pence was like, you know, this is like a serious job. All this shit's happening in the world. This is not the time for on-the-job training. Because I'd have been like, okay, so what the fuck have you done, dude? Like, just because you're old, you still haven't accomplished shit. You turned on your fucking boss. Like, fuck you, man. Yeah, he's like hiding in a bunker and shit, you know? Like, go back to your little fucking raccoon hole. But, so Ron Swamy, like, he had like a VR. He had like a really good like rebuttal, man. And he was like telling the story about like the founding fathers that all these guys are like quoting, right? Mm-hmm. And he's just like, you know that like Thomas Jefferson, when he signed the Declaration of Independence, was only 33 years old. That is true. All those fuckers were young. They were young, man. I mean, besides Benjamin Franklin, everybody else was young as shit. Because everyone, I mean, you didn't fuck. Benji was an old ass dude. He was a goddamn miracle that he even made it that long. Everybody else was dead by 50. And then he said, I think like Alexander Hamilton, I believe, was like 22 years old. Like, dude, these were young fucking dudes. And so I get like VR's like point, you know what I mean? And it's like, obviously he's not an idiot. Like, he started multi-billion-dollar companies from the ground up, you know what I mean? Well, like, plus we have the goddamn geriatric fuck of Biden. Like, fuck that. Sure. It's too goddamn old. A wet towel could beat that shit. Yeah. You know? A fucking towel pop. Take him out. Straight to the temple. Oh my god. Like it. Oh man. But my thing, like, you know, like when VR is like talking about all these people and shit like that and stuff, I'm like, dude, the thing about VR is he has no experience in politics whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Okay, now neither did Trump.
I was gonna say, so he's comparable to Trump as like he just comes from money, but like he was a businessman type shit, and
this dude's fucking loaded.
Okay,
like he made a point. He was talking about he was stating that the climate change like agenda is a big hoax, and like everyone started booing him, and then he was like, I can say that on this stage because I'm the only politician here that's not bought and paid for.
I respect that.
And everyone was like, boo. I was like, why are you booing that shit, dude? I was like, that should be a fucking good thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm tired of like rich fucking cocksuckers just constantly running shit and telling everyone else what to do.
But that's how it's going to be either way. I'm more for if some rich guy that runs some shit, like I'm for more giving the new guy a chance versus the same goddamn people who've been in positions of power for 40 fucking years and haven't done a motherfucking thing besides get richer themselves.
That's why I kind of like RFK Jr., man, because even though he's a Democrat, like I mean, we talked about him before on this podcast. You and I have talked about him a lot too. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, he's really about like scrutinizing the government, supporting like building up the fucking border wall, like all this shit, man. Like
he's a Democrat, but not. He's just
like he's more center.
Yeah.
And so like he had that hearing.
He's a Democrat I can agree with.
He had that Senate or that congressional hearing on censorship, man. And they were insinuating that he wasn't a real Democrat. Like he was like a Republican in disguise. Like what is it, fucking Batman? It's like I don't know.
What's that? Is that no? It's a rhino is a Republican who's outwardly a Republican but acts Democratic.
Rhino stands for Republican in name only.
Yeah.
So you just say shit and you don't actually do anything.
Yeah.
You know. So one of our local politicians got called one. Yeah. So like every like election season now that I've been back, like I try to volunteer, like help out with campaigns or whatever. I won't say the guy's name, but. He came in the day before we started doing knock and talks in neighborhoods, and these were very targeted neighborhoods. Let's just say we weren't going to the ghetto. Yeah. Like we were going.
There was no Martin Luther King Street around.
We were going to single family homes made out of brick. You know, they have their own driveways, and typically there's a gate in the front. You know? But yeah, like the day before, like some news story broke in the Texas Tribune, and they were like calling him a rhino and shit. And, like people were shitting on him. It wasn't really a scandal. It was just. They were just fucking with him because he was working with Democrats in Texas State Senate or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and not Texas State Senate, Texas Congress, and everybody like I even knocked on doors and people were like, "Fuck this guy!" Like you always vote party lines, red down the line. And I remember like talking to one guy and we kind of like we had that little debate. I mean, I wasn't mean by any means, obviously. Because I'm on the dude's front steps. You know, like I knocked on his fucking door.
This is Texas. He's got a gun. So.
I'm like, can you sign this? And can I put this sign in your yard?
You want to step in for some teach? What's up?
Get your liberal ass out of here, boy. Like, what? Blasted ass like that dude in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, dude.
They hit that speed bump or whatever, and then fucking John Travolta blows his brains out going down the interstate. What the fuck? But, yeah, man, like, so the guy was kind of like going at, you know, kind of coming at me a little bit. And I was like trying to talk to him. I was like, dude, you understand, like, you have to be able to negotiate. You can't just like go into office and just be like, I will never talk to anyone of any other political party or like trade it. You have to. I mean,
that's the problem with most Democrats now is they don't ever want to fucking listen to the right at all. And they're not willing to make any goddamn compromises. So nothing gets fucking done and we're at a motherfucking stalemate.
And I had a cousin of mine. I won't say who he worked for, but he worked for a few politicians. Interesting enough, one of those politicians was on the stage at the GOP primary debates.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool.
I'll tell you who it is off camera.
All right.
But
you guys don't get to know unless you
well,
get our Patreon. What's up?
He still works in those circles. So like, and if I told you his job title and who a clever person could figure it out, and that might cause some shit storms. But yeah, my cousin, it does it. Nice guy. But when he first started working there, man, he told me all kinds of crazy shit about Capitol Hill. And he was like, dude, like, basically, like, fuck these people, man. Like, they don't care about it. Like, he's like, they're all psychos.
Yeah.
He was like, and they just basically just shit on each other because they can. Like, like, let's just say, like, Nancy Pelosi did come up with a good idea. And she was like, we need to get this pushed. He was like, every Republican would be like, fuck that bitch. Like, even if they agreed with it, like, they would just be like, you know
what? That's a fucking good idea. But fuck that bitch.
Yeah, like, we'll just wait till your ass is out of office and then we'll pass that shit, you know? But it's because like they just don't want people's names on shit and stuff, you know what I mean? Because it's all about their legacy and all that sort of shit and everything. But anyway, man, so go back to shitting on the GOP primary debates. But They did VR a little dirty though. So are you familiar with this new? Well, he's a singer, songwriter, plays guitar, but that Anthony Oliver.
Oh yeah, Oliver Anthony.
Yeah, Oliver Anthony.
Yeah, the dude's blowing the fuck up right now.
Blowing the fuck up, man. And he's got some good music. You know, I mean, it's just like real, like I don't know what you call it, like almost like folk southern.
Yeah, like I don't know. He's becoming guitar. Synonymous with being a goddamn patriot.
Yeah, yeah. And so I guess he got his main song that got like super famous was like Richmond, north of Richmond or whatever. Yeah, like Richmond, Virginia or whatever. And basically, it's just like a big old fuck you to like Washington.
Richmond, north of Richmond.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's just a big fuck you to like Washington and shit. And he's just like, you rich assholes don't give a fuck. Like, you screw everything up for us. Like, our dollar's worthless. You tax the shit out of us. Like, you protect each other. And then he even like makes a reference to like fucking Pleasure Island that Epstein was running and shit. He was basically like, where's that fucking list? You know what I mean? Still fucking waiting, DOJ, whenever you decide to fucking let us know.
That'll be never, because they're all involved.
Fuck no. Yeah, dude. You know how many goddamn fucking former directors are probably on that list, dude? But,
stack of diddlers.
Literally.
Yeah.
So anyway, so VR, you know, he gives this speech and he's talking about, you know, my family migrated here, came from nothing. I built up like this empire. I'm a patriot. Blah, 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 blah. This is why you should vote for me. And then literally the hosts go, they introduced that Oliver Anthony song, and they're like, we just want to know what your guys' opinions about this song is. And then they play a clip where he's basically just like, fuck these guys and these rich cocksuckers.
Fuck the rich motherfuckers.
Yeah, and as soon as they're done with that clip, they immediately pan to fucking VR's face. Like, how do you feel about this shit? And he's like the richest dude on the stage. He's just like, fuck. You know, like, I was like, yeah, you fucked up there, buddy.
Yeah, you still a patriot, huh?
You fucked up there, man. Came in this room and told everybody how fucking rich you were. Now, you just come back to fuck with you, man.
So how did he, like, what does his family do?
I honestly don't know.
Like real estate or?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I could rattle some statistics. I mean, I think I read a Forbes article years ago that I think it was like 89% of all millionaires made their first million in real estate. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. You know,
I'm sure their hands are in some of that shit. Like,
oh yeah. I mean, you kind of have to be, man.
Yeah, you pretty much do.
Really. You know, I mean, it's easy. I mean, anybody can become a billionaire. They just need a small loan of $1 million. You seen that interview with Trump where he's just like, my father gave me a small loan of $1 million, and everybody was like, a fucking small loan? Like, gave you a fucking $1 million in like the 80s or some shit, dude. Like, you know. But he did obviously turn that into billions and billions of dollars. Have you ever heard that song, The Wall of Bass?
No.
Yeah, I know I'm bouncing around, but we're talking about Trump right now. So when I was in Germany, I'd go to music festivals, and these guys, like, they fucking hated Trump, dude. Because, like, Trump, that was back when, like, Trump was, like, dick slapping, like, NATO and shit. Or,
yeah.
Mushroom stamping every world leader, you know? Like, and so he was just trying to get him to pay, and he was talking all this crazy shit in Germany about shutting down bases and blah, 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 blah. Him and their former chancellor, Angela Merkel, think very hardcore Democrat. We're, like, constantly going at it, like, button heads or whatever. But anyway, so people would make fun of Trump over there. I don't know if you've seen this in your travels, but one thing they would do, like when I went to a music festival, I saw a lot of MAGA hats. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, hold up. What the fuck? Like, are these Trump supporters? And I was like talking to one of these guys at like this beer stand or whatever, beer tent. And they were like, no, we just think it's really funny. So they're like going to these like EDM festivals and they're just like magged out and shit. And they got like t-shirts with like Donald Trump's face on it or whatever.
Dude, I'd be like, that's cool as fuck, man.
Yeah, dude. And I thought it was funny or whatever. You know, I didn't tell them my religious affiliation. They're like, yeah, I voted for the guy. What's up? But
every person I ever talked to about it, I was like, yeah, I voted for him. I was like, they were like, so Donald Trump, he fucking sucks, right? I'm like, no, actually he did a whole bunch of good for the motherfuckers and he just gets a bad rep on TV. I was like, He hasn't affected me negatively in any motherfucking manner. It's like, if anything, he's helped my shit. Yeah. So, because all of their shit is just total dogging him 24/7.
Oh,
so anybody that I ever talked to, they always hated him, and then I would explain this shit and be like, oh, I guess he ain't that fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm fucking saying.
Well, like I was at this EDM festival and they played this song. It's called, I can't remember who made it, but you can YouTube The Wall of Bass. And I mean, it's like a hardcore, like, like EDM song. And like the catch, like the chorus in that is just like it's clips of Donald Trump's voice. And he's like, "We're gonna have billions and billions and billions of dollars." He's like the wall of base, and then it's just like bum 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 bum.
Awesome.
Like, dude, yeah, dude. And it was all these MAGA hats and shit going everywhere and stuff, dude. Like people
waving Trump flags and shit.
I was like, if you would have took a picture of it, you would have thought that was like a fucking Trump rally.
That's
dude.
hilarious, dude. I'm surprised CNN didn't get a hold of that shit.
I know.
Be like,
oh man, you want to hear
Nazis having a Trump rally in Germany?
I got a firsthand fucking story, man. I caught CNN doing some dirty shit one time. Dude.
Really?
I ever tell you this shit?
No.
Oh yeah, man. So there was a period, you know how like Trump was when he was president, like he was flying around all the fucking time, stopping at bases.
Yeah.
Like he really did that shit. He was, as far as visiting troops, he was like probably the most active president
I think he was. Yeah.
I've ever seen in my lifetime. You know, probably in history. Like, you know, if you exclude the guys who had to be like war generals and shit, you know, like in the 1700s or whatever. But so one place he flew into, it's called Ramstein Air Base. It's in Germany. It's one of the largest bases in the entire world. Huge. I mean, there's like 50,000 U.S. troops. There's like 30,000 NATO troops. It's got every branch of the military is fucking there, dude. Like everyone's there. And it's a nice...
It's a goddamn city. Like,
oh, yeah. Have you been there?
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They have a massive fucking mall and shit.
Yeah, dude. There's like movie theaters in it and shit. And it's like, what the fuck? There's a Chili's in there?
Yeah, there is. I hate that motherfucker. It's like its own fucking utopia on that shit.
Yeah,
like,
dude. I used to go down
there. It's literally America in Germany.
Yeah, I used to go down there just to get like American-style food or whatever. Yeah. You know, like just get like the Chili's or whatever. Well, anyway, so Trump flies through Ramstein, right? And they got him like set up or whatever. And he's like in this aircraft hangar. And there's like velvet ropes to kind of try to keep the crowds back or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, Secret Service is swarming like a motherfucker. And all these troops show up. Okay. And how I know CNN was doing some fucking dirty shit is because I read the news article they posted and I saw from firsthand experience my friends live feeding what happened and all their Snapchat chat stories, all that shit. So Trump shows up. They knew he was coming. All right. And I think they like set it up like, hey, we can do like a meet and greet or whatever. Yeah. Every fucking person who showed up was like a straight up patriot. And they're all in uniform too, right? And they all have hats and flags and they're all holding Sharpies like sign this shit, please, right? And then he's just signing all these hats or whatever. So CNN goes like immediately and posts a fucking bullshit story that said that Trump brought all of that fucking material, like all the hats, all the flags, all that shit, passed it out and then made the troops pretend basically. They were like, oh, we like you and shit like that. I think they ended up redacting it or whatever, but yeah, dude. I was like, you dirty motherfuckers, dude. And what the most fucked up part, not a single motherfucker from CNN was probably in that fucking room.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck y'all. You know? So.
And like whenever I was in the military, the vast majority of people liked fucking Trump. Like, because he was helping us out. He was fucking raising our pay, like doing all the fucking shit that we wanted. Yeah. So.
It's just a fucking smear campaign constantly.
Oh, yeah. 24/7.
Didn't you say they were like they were smearing that Andrew Huberman dude now? I mean, it's like anybody who's like remotely conservative or has any right leaning shit, or speaks out against the fucking what do you even call it? Like the establishment,
the agenda, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, man. But yeah, you were talking about Andrew Huberman, man.
Yeah, so like he's a renowned fucking scientist. Like
he's a neuroscientist.
He's a neuroscientist. Like he's super famous. Like, and he's all like, he's been telling people like men basically like, hey, like. Eat more protein, get more fucking sunlight, like do natural ass shit that everyone needs to fucking do, man or woman. Yeah. But basically just like telling people how to live their lives in a more positive manner that doesn't involve fucking getting fucked up on antidepressants and pain pills and sitting in the TV like just frying your goddamn mind all day. But so Wikipedia has recently run like its own little fucking misinformation campaign on him, and like on his actual page they've been saying, well, okay, so let me just back up. Lex Friedman got pissed off about this because Wikipedia was talking shit about Andrew Huberman. So let me just read what Lex has to say off of a Twitter post. It says, it saddens me to see Andrew Huberman's Wikipedia page attacked in a politically motivated way to remove most of his scientific accomplishments and add misleading statements like, Huberman appeared on programs that frequently platform health misinformation, aka Joe Rogan. This is a dishonest misrepresentation of a legit scientist and one of the best communicators of science in the world. Huberman Lab deserves to be celebrated, not slandered. He's truly a special human being who is doing an invaluable service to the world. So
damn.
Lex got fucking pissed off about that, and then recently their shit, and you can go in there and see when they edited stuff.
Yeah.
So like they've recently,
anybody can edit it though, right?
No. So Wikipedia has.
That's how I thought Wikipedia works. Like anybody can just go.
That's how it used to work. But on like special like things, Wikipedia has a option to lock it to where no one else can add in shit, or they can have it semi-locked to where only their specific admins can go in there and add things.
Oh, okay.
So
there is like some sort of a vetting process.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. So and a side note, fucking Hunter Biden, he's paid the team at Wikipedia, and again, you can go on Wikipedia and look at his shit because it tells you the times and dates that stuff has been added, or like basically anytime that anything has been edited on Wikipedia, you can look and see that. In the past 30 days, Hunter Biden shit has been edited 130 times.
Oh man, they're trying to wipe that fucking hard drive clean, dude.
They're trying to fucking say that he's a goddamn golden child again. Yeah. So,
fuck.
Again, man. And I was reading this other shit. Like
Holy
Wikipedia is of course run by typically left-wing stuff, and the creator, the founder of Wikipedia, he's stepped down. He said this is not.
Really?
Yeah, he stepped
down over this?
Not over this specific incident, but over the incident, like over everything of how the left is running, like leaning on shit, and Fox News is not even allowed to be a cited source on Wikipedia anymore.
What?
But CNN
How is that even fucking possible?
Dude, they run that shit. And so Wikipedia, a Wikipedia search on a Google search, if you were to Google something, 99.7% of the time, a Wikipedia link is going to be the #1 spot. And 99.3% of people will never go to the page 2 of a Google search. So you're just you're automatically going to click on the fucking Wikipedia link. So if it's typically left run and left pushed, that propaganda shit, you're going to be always reading a more left-sided information.
God damn, dude. Dude, what the fuck is happening to the world, man? You know, like, I mean, like, really, like, when you start silencing, like, news companies and shit, like, dude, nah, fuck that. That's Nazi Germany shit, dude.
Yeah, man.
Straight up, man. So, oh, my God, dude. I don't even... Dude, that's why they're fucking... Can you even sue over that shit? I mean, how the fuck...
No, because they own that shit.
Damn. Well, you know what? Like, Lex Friedman does not fuck around. Like, I've watched his podcast a few times. Like, he's just, like, straight up. Here's the brass tacks, dude. Like... You know, like he's not fucking around at all, man, on his show, and he's very thorough.
Yeah, he's one of the people. Like, there's a group of people that are able, like, he already has the platform and he already has the like audience to where that he can do whatever the fuck he wants to. He's like Joe Rogan. Like, he was above that shit. They tried to drop him, they tried to discredit him, but they couldn't fucking do it.
Isn't it funny? Like, you know, once you hit like an apex, sorry, man, my allergies messing up. Once you hit an apex, like, there's like a point that you hit where like. You can't be canceled. They can't fuck with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially as a private content creator.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're a little ways away from that. But, you know,
we're working on it.
I
mean, fucking same shit with Tucker. Like, he got fucking canned, so now he has his own goddamn thing. Like,
I bet some shit's going to come out about that later, man. I don't know. I feel like they just did him dirty, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I always liked Tucker, though. I always thought he was good. I mean, he was like the first, like... news anchor that was like asking fucking any remote questions about like aliens and UFOs and shit, and everyone thought he was like fucking insane. He was like, he started talking about during the Trump administration, and he was like, hey, like, you know, what's going on with this stuff? And this is when Trump gives that famous interview, and he's like, well, we got some interesting things going on. And he's like, we'd like to let the people know. And then he went on and made that committee or whatever that essentially investigates this shit, reports it to the public. But yeah, man, a lot of those guys in power, I don't know, man. Like, and it's crazy because like you don't like, there's like power. And then there's like actual power. Then there's perceived power.
True. Yeah.
And like, I don't think a lot of these elected motherfuckers actually have as much fucking power as they think they do.
They don't, but they're backed by the media.
Yeah.
So like that,
or even all that dark money and shit, man. Like,
well, yeah.
You know, there's what, like 2,800 billionaires in the world. How many can you name? Not trying to throw you on the spot, but I mean,
couple,
like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
what,
just
Elon
the typical
Musk, fucking
Gates, fucking
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what about the rest of those fucking dudes who have like combined net worths of like in the trillions of dollars where they could literally buy fucking countries? It's like, what are those fucking dudes doing, you know? They got to keep entertained.
Yeah.
So, you know, who the fuck are they paying off? But I don't know. But I always get kind of like in the conspiracy realm. I always think there's like I don't want to call it a shadow government, but it's a shadow government. Yeah, dude. I actually saw a really cool podcast with Tim Dillon and Chris oh shoot, what's his name? He's a comedian.
Chris Tostano.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it.
He's actually pretty funny, man. I just started watching his stuff. He's actually pretty damn hilarious, honestly. But he has a family. He claims he has a family friend that is like in with the Obamas, like knew them before he became president, kind of thing, right? And he was telling a story, essentially, like, I guess
before Michelle was a woman.
Yeah. She was a dude. Have you seen those pictures on the internet?
Yeah.
Woo, buddy. So you just don't know if it's fake anymore, though.
You don't.
But I kind of want that to be real.
I would love that to be real. That'd be funny as fuck.
Some Austin Powers shit. That's a man.
Yeah.
You know? But Chris guy was like telling the story about, I think it was at the end of Obama's like presidency. It was like his last night or whatever in office. He has like a small group of friends. You know, they walk out the back of the White House and they light a blunt and they're smoking. All right. I don't know if this is fucking true. Obviously, I wasn't fucking there.
Yeah.
Okay. But his words, not mine. And this family friend that was there was talking to Obama, and apparently Obama was like super worried, you know, like, oh, is it all over? Like, you know, how bad is this? Like, is Trump gonna be? You know what I mean? Because like everyone just thought it was gonna be the end of the world. Like we thought they were going to nuclear war day 2. You know what I mean? It's like, here we go. But and apparently, allegedly, Obama told this guy's family member, because they were just talking about government in general, and Obama literally said, he's like, once you become president, he was like, you're only in mid-level government. And the guy was like, what are you talking about? Like, how? Like, you're the top dog, man. Like, come on. And he's apparently Obama said that there's like a binder. It's basically, imagine this is the entire government in this binder, and it has 5,000 pages. He was like, as president, I only have access to 2,500 of those pages. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, when I was hearing that, so who fucking knows what the fuck they're hiding? And who the fuck are those people who control that shit? It's all the intelligence agencies and shit and everything, you know? That's why, like...
And giant fucking corporations.
Yeah.
Disney, BlackRock, those motherfuckers. That's
probably why we get hits in Virginia a lot. It's a true story. We look at our analytics and got some shit around Langley popping up. So,
hey guys, what's up?
How you guys doing? Yeah.
Follow us on TikTok.
You know, fucking next thing you know, we'll be on that goddamn bullshit FBI's extremist list. You ever read about that shit?
No.
Oh yeah, the FBI keeps a running list of basically people they designate to be extremist. Right?
I know they had like the fucking juggalos, like the people who listen to ICP. They try classified.
They try to actually declare them as a domestic terrorist organization.
Yeah. Which they're not. They're literally typically just fucking rednecks that like to drink pee and fucking
just
drink Fago. Yeah.
Just retarded. So, but
although there is a gathering of the juggalos, which I would be down to go to. Have you ever seen that shit?
Yeah, I've seen like videos of it online.
That
I've never
shit
been
looks
in
hilarious.
person. It'd be kind of cool to go check it out. I don't know if I'd stay the night. I'd definitely check it out for a couple hours.
Put on like, I don't know, you have to cover your butthole. Sleep, like, turn your pants around, belt up.
I'm not getting finger blasted out here. But yeah, the FBI has that running list of like extremists or whatever. So these aren't people who are like officially under investigation. These are just people that they just have registered like as potentially could be a problem, right?
Probably people that say shit that they don't like.
That's exactly what it is. And it's like people who are like members of militias, which is your constitutional right to fucking do and be. Like, it's actually encouraged to do that. And, dude, it's just a lot of bullshit, man. I was listening to Joe Rogan. He had a friend, the dude, I wish I could remember the guy's name, but he was a retired Navy SEAL. And he went on and started basically like a prepping survival company or whatever.
It's not fucking Jocko.
No, it's not that guy. I know who you're talking about or whatever. But he was talking to Joe Rogan and he was like, the FBI, it's like the FBI put me on that extremist list. And this dude is a fucking like retired Navy SEAL and shit. It's like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Like, he knows too much.
And he had to like, he got in like, I had to go to like a bunch of legal like fucking hula hoops he had to jump through and shit. And eventually he got off that list. But
really?
Yeah. So like apparently you can get on that shit for just like ordering interesting suspicious books on Amazon, equipment, like whatever it may be, but whatever, dude.
So what are the, like, if you're on the list, they just monitor you heavily?
Basically, yeah.
So they may have taken him off the list, but they're still monitoring that dude. They're like, dude. Oh yeah, we scratched your name off. Okay, cool.
Dude, I don't know, man. Those people are fucking dirty. All of them. Especially like, I mean, shit's even coming out about like the Obamas and stuff. Oh shit, speaking of Obama, man, I can't believe I didn't bring this up. Did you hear about that fucking dude who got killed at his house in Martha's Vineyard?
No.
Yeah. So, these Martha's Vineyard, super fucking affluent, rich community, right? That's where Governor Greg Abbott was sending all the immigrants and shit.
Yeah.
Like, was that Ron DeSantis who flew him up there? It was one of them.
I think it was both, actually.
They were just dumping off these immigrants.
Where Pelosi's husband got the fucking DUI.
Like,
you want to pick up a little boy.
Dude, it was so fucking funny because like a lot of those people like in that community were like, we're gonna be different. Like we're gonna bring these people in, and they brought them in. These people just fucked their houses up and robbed their shit. Like,
well, yeah. As soon as they touched ground, they were like, get these motherfuckers out of here.
Mm-hmm. But this story's not being covered by the news like hardly at all. So obviously they're super rich. There's still like Secret Service. There's eyes everywhere, cameras. You know, they got like personal aides still and all that crap. So one thing they have is a personal chef. And their chef drowned in their swimming pool. Interesting enough, all these fucking people on the internet have like pulled like his IG and Twitter, and he posts all these videos in the past of him like swimming in like Olympic-sized swimming pools, like hauling out. Like he was like a fucking swimmer, dude. It almost looked like he might have been like ex-military or some shit, dude. And now they're just like, oh, this guy like fucking drowned in like 3 feet of water or some shit. And I was like, nah. He probably heard something. He overheard a conversation, or he saw some shit, or he was like, oh, I might tell somebody.
So it was crazy. They probably drugged him and kicked him in the pool.
Yeah. So fucking.
Everybody went to bed, comes back out like 6 hours later. Like, oh my god, he's dead.
I'd never worked for motherfuckers in that high level of power, like the Clintons, dude. Like it's like,
I mean, have you seen their fucking track record? They don't keep people around.
Yeah, dude. It's like, what, like 27, 28?
Yeah, dude.
Very mysterious deaths, dude.
Yeah.
You know how many fucking people, like, I think there's like 3 or 4 people that worked for him that died in plane crashes.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
And what are the, like, odds of getting in a plane crash are fucking insane.
Yeah, dude.
So.
And what was that guy that was the recent, well, he was the last fucking whistleblower. Fuck, what was it? Was it Ryan Smith?
I don't remember.
The guy that was like shot twice. And they were like, oh, he committed suicide.
Oh, yeah.
What? What the fuck?
Or the guy that, like, committed suicide with the AR-15 and they found the gun 30 feet away from him.
Oh, it was a shotgun.
Yeah, the shotgun.
He hung himself. Right? Didn't he hang himself? And then he, like, shot himself in the chest. And then it was like the gun was 30 fucking feet away. Dude, what the fuck? I mean, that kind of like that Kurt Cobain shit, dude. I always thought, I was like, yeah, man, this guy killed himself, man. He got fucked up on drugs. Like, he was all, you know, he's married to fucking, what was it, Courtney Love?
Yeah,
she
Courtney
was
Love.
Fucking crazy. And then I watched that Soaked in Bleach documentary, and then they had like the investigators that they were like, this guy did not kill himself. And then they did like 3D like rendering to like show like the position of the gun and his body and stuff, and it like
there's no way that could have happened.
Yeah, like the casing from a shotgun, right? Like, so you know when you shoot a shotgun, like the fucking shell stays in there until you like jack another round in the chamber, right?
Yeah.
So the casing was ejected, and the way the shotgun was sitting, they could tell that it was ejected. It hit something, and then it bounced on the other side of Cobain. Somebody was standing there. There was nothing around.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like an empty room, like in this greenhouse or some shit, garden or whatever. And somebody was basically standing there, and it just ricocheted off. So someone put his fucking hand on. I don't know. It's probably the Obamas.
Or the Clintons.
The Clintons, yeah, there you go.
Hillary was like, I didn't like your last album.
Oh, shit, man. Yeah, dude, those guys are fucking wild. Speaking of wild, man, we got, for a small community that we live in, we got wild shit that happens here all the time, dude.
Yeah, we do.
So, like, right now, all of our shit is on fire.
Speaking of wild, we got wildfires.
yeah, wildfire.
We've been talking about fucking Maui, and then like 3 days later, our shit catches on fire too.
Dude, my friend like sent me a message and was talking about. He's like, "Hey man, like you doing all right, man? Like I saw there was like fires down there where you're at," and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" The first thing I thought was, I was like, "Man, that shit in Maui got out of control fast." And then like I was like, "Oh,
blew
fuck.
over the ocean."
I'm fucking retarded. Like it's not on a fucking island, like Chris. But yeah, man, our shit. What do they say? It's like over 2,000 acres have burned up now.
Oh, way more than that.
Well, way more
like,
now.
There's one in one county that's 3,000. Then there's like another in another county next to us that's over 1,000. Another one 1,500. Like we're like in a circle so far, but like everything around us is getting fucked.
Fuck. And it's like what's crazy is it's what, like 110 degrees today or some shit.
Yeah.
And we haven't had rain in, what would you say, at least a month.
Over a month, probably 2.
So it's like super fucking dry.
It's super dry, like hot as fuck, and then you get that in combination with fire
and wind that we get down here and all that shit.
And fire creates its own wind anyways. And dude, like the videos I saw, like because we have pine trees, like 35, 40 foot, and that fire is to the top. Like one goddamn little fucking ash when it's already 40 feet in the air, dude, like that shit can fucking travel.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. You ever stood next to a campfire? You're like a few feet away and like a fucking ember pops up. You're like, oh, goddamn. Yeah, like, you know, imagine that. Dude, I don't know. You think, I mean, did they figure out how it started?
Not yet. But man,
you think it was arsonist?
No, I don't think so.
I think somebody just flipped a cigarette butt
like could be cigarette, dude. Like people, like even people mowing like off of the exhaust. If the exhaust touches grass, that shit can spark and light on fire, like pastures and stuff. So people aren't mowing right now because of that.
Good God, man.
But like anything, like somebody was having a fucking barbecue, like it's fucking crazy.
Shit, dude.
Man, last year I had a fucking fire at my own house. Like I was burning some trash.
Oh, I remember coming over and seeing it. I just came over one day and your entire yard was black, and I was like, "What the fuck happened, dude?"
Yeah. So I had.
Did you freak out for like 2 seconds? Or were you like, "Oh fuck"?
I was like, "God damn it, my valuables!" I was like, I didn't care about the house, but I had valuable shit in there.
The house, fuck that piece of shit.
I was like, the house has insurance. Like, I got fucking shit. I need this.
I got valuable trading cards in there. I gotta grab these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I know you deal in like collectibles and stuff, and you do definitely have some valuable ass fucking Pokemon cards you've been collecting for a long time. But it is a very funny sight, like some like grown ass man being like, get up, like fuck everything else, like family photos, irreplaceable heirlooms.
Dude, that is 100%. I'd be like, you get anything Pokemon you're looking for, I'm grabbing the goddamn Pokemon. Like I'm fucking taking a hatchet to the wall, singing that shit, grabbing it out of the back, running away. Like
firefighters, like seeing that shit. Like what does he got?
Like, but it's gonna be like, my fucking baby's in there, my baby. Just have a goddamn cardboard box running out with it.
They're like falling out and shit. Yeah. Because they're all like in graded plastic and stuff, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like the majority of it is in fire, like safes and shit like that. And like I don't keep all of my shit in one place. I've got it in multiple fucking locations.
For sure, man. Especially with the fucking crackheads around here. Dude.
Yeah.
People always just robbing shit here, dude.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. But yeah, dude, that fire shit's getting crazy, man. I know, like, last I saw, they were, like, calling for, like, volunteers and shit to come, like, try and help. And, like, apparently Texas A&M, like, the forestry services or whatever, like, they're working down there right now to, like, try to contain it or whatever. So, one of my family friends, dude, like, she does, like, a life support, like, airlift or whatever shit. They basically just, they have fires going on in Louisiana now. Like, dude, like the entire country is like on fucking fire right now, dude. And dude, they're like taking those airlift like fucking helicopters, and when they're not like being used for like emergency, well, like people, right? They're lifting water now and just dumping it and shit. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's crazy. She was posting some crazy ass videos on her Facebook or whatever, and it was just like people would be fishing and like this helicopter just fucking hauls ass, comes in there, drops that big ass bucket, and like takes off. You know, imagine being a fish. That's one hell of a fucking experience, dude. Yeah. You just minding your own fucking business, swimming around, then some big ass bucket comes, scoops you up, drop. But I mean, what do you think elevation levels are on that? What, like fucking
on a helicopter?
2,000 feet?
I would think so.
5,000 somewhere in there.
Yeah,
2 to 5. I don't know.
Yeah, like at least a few thousand feet for sure.
Yeah, and so then you're like at this high ass altitude, hauling ass or whatever. And you just get dumped into like literally
a fire. Go straight to hell.
You've never even seen a tree before. That's like, yeah, dude, just straight up in hell. Was it? Oh, there was a story, man. Oh, fuck, it reminds me. There was a story. We have to look this shit up and like talk about it later, dude. There was a goddamn story about a scuba diver that happened to.
Oh, they got scooped up for fucking
off the coast of California.
Oh shit!
He got scooped up. I can't remember where the fuck I heard it. He got scooped up in that bucket and they dumped his ass in a wildfire. The dude lived.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, dude, but you just like imagine walking around with snorkeling gear and it's just fucking walls of flames around you and shit. He's like, what the fuck? So I think it was like something to do with like his oxygen tank actually. Like, it's kind of what saved his ass. Or
I can't believe he survived the fucking fall.
Yeah, who knows how high they dumped that shit from?
Sure, I bet
he hit a lot of trees on the way down.
Probably. Yeah.
God damn, dude.
I'm sure whenever they get to the fire, they probably like scoop the tops and just dump it straight as close as they can.
Dude, so much wild shit just happens in our town. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see that shit on our news. You know what I mean? like for a town that only has like 35,000 people in it, like a lot of weird shit happens. I think if you include like the surrounding areas, like 80K, right? Like 80,000.
Probably, yeah.
Oh man, like I don't know, like. Fucking, we got like cults and shit here, dude.
Like legitimate cults.
Yeah.
Like,
you want to tell them?
People know. Like Church of Wells. I'm sure you've heard of them. Like
Church of Wells, man. Were they on the Dr. Phil show?
I think they were, man. They've made national news like multiple fucking times for like basically kidnapping people and brainwashing them, and then their family tries to get a hold of them. They're like, no.
They were like drugging people and shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
which
insane.
They're now called, they changed their shit to the YMBBA, You Must Be Born Again, because the Church of Wales name was getting too much heat, so they changed that shit, but they still do the same goddamn shit.
Man. Dude, I kind of want to go there. I mean, it's only, what, like half an hour away?
It's, dude, from
where we're at.
Yeah,
from
dude.
where we're sitting right now.
It's like 20 minutes away. Like,
yeah.
It's actually closer to get to the Church of Wales than it is to get to Walmart from where we're at right now.
Oh, God, dude. We should go to a service one day.
Dude, we should go and have either the fucking glasses with the hidden cameras in it or like the pocket pen thing with the little camera.
For fucking sure, dude. We should publish that shit to our YouTube channel.
Dude, that would be a good expose. Like,
yeah.
Be like, hey, a couple of good old Christian men looking to join your cause.
I've seen the light.
Yeah.
Like,
I ain't taking no goddamn drinks from you motherfuckers though, but I'll see what you got. Like.
Yeah, I mean, they've been investigated by like the FBI and shit and stuff, man. And there's a lot of accounts of them using like strong psychedelics on people, like unknowingly. You know, like I don't know if they were like lacing them with acid or whatever, but
I mean, if they want to give me that, I'll take them up on that. I ain't taking no roofies.
Well, you have like a ridiculously high tolerance to drugs, like all drugs. I've never seen it. You're literally like a freak of nature, dude.
I'm gonna take it. They'll be like, we gave him 3 doses, and I'm like, I'm your god now.
It just doesn't even faze you, and they're like, is this shit even working? You're just like sitting there, like, whatever.
Haven't they've came to your school, right, to like try to recruit people?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, dude. So it actually wasn't the Church of Wales who did this. They were like in cahoots with them.
Were like a separate chapter off of the same thing.
They changed their name. I can't remember what their name was, but they were actually out of the Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, okay.
And I go to like a small public state university that only has like 11,000 students, right? And not a big fucking university, but because it's public, there's areas that like people can go and sit and protest and say whatever you want because it's public property, right? And one of those fucking areas is right outside the student center. So like a couple of times a year, like these Westboro Baptist Church affiliates, I'm pretty sure it's them, dude, to be honest with you.
They go on mission trips.
They just drive around the country and they hit all these universities.
Anywhere that will allow them to be there.
Basically, I mean, they apparently they really focus on like universities now. Like they're trying to get like the younger generation, you know? And dude, it's the weirdest fucking shit, man. Now I've traveled an assload. I've seen tons of different cultures, tons of different religions. I make fun of everything, but at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit. Like, you know, do whatever the fuck you want to do as long as you don't hurt anyone else. Yeah. Throw it in my fucking face. Yeah. I don't give a shit. Live your own life. Whatever. But these guys are fucking weird, man. Weird. So they came on the university and they were like protesting outside the student center where students go to eat. Like the cafeteria is there. Like, you got like a fucking Chick-fil-A. You want to get like a pizza. All right, they got like a lounge room. They got like a Starbucks, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. People go to just relax between classes or whatever. And there's probably, I'm not even fucking with you, there's probably like 40 men, right? Just grown-ass men with like picket signs. And they're like the one preacher was there. I got a real Jim Jones vibe off this guy. Like he was like a taller guy. He was a bigger guy. Fairly well dressed, but like...
Charismatic?
Yes. But you could tell like... looking at him, the way he was talking, all those people were duped, but he knew what the fuck
he was like. So it was all like super calculating, like manipulative type shit.
Oh yeah, man.
What the fuck were they like? What was on the signs?
AIDS is the cure was one of them because they hate gay people.
Oh, okay.
It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. There was like a bunch of them. There's a bunch of like anti.
So it was like anti-gay shit.
Yeah, they had like crazy. They didn't have anything about like dead troops or whatever because I don't think that went over too well with the Westboro guys back in the day. But they just had anything you can imagine that would be like remotely offensive or whatever, you know. And but they really went hard on the gays.
If they're going to fucking universities, like I'm sure that's what they got to fucking push.
Which is interesting because now, you know, Generation Z, only 53% of them identify officially as straight. So you're literally walking in a room pissing off about half the fucking people in that room. You know what I mean? That's kind of ballsy.
Yeah. Interesting for our future population, too.
Yeah. As a guy who spends a lot of his free time just saying offensive shit, it's just like, I wouldn't even do that. So yeah, man. So like, I watch this shit and I get a Starbucks coffee and I sit and I watch. And I actually watch them for like 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to learn. Like, this is like a real cult, man.
Yeah.
And
how receptive was like the average person to what they were fucking doing?
There was a lot of people standing around and looking, not a lot of people engaged. Like most people were just like, fuck these guys, and they kept fucking walking off because they come to the university multiple times a year.
Okay.
Like, so this wasn't like a one-off fucking thing. This was just the first time.
So it's like, these guys again, like, fuck them.
Yeah, like one of my friends is like a political science lecturer, and like she was telling me, she was like, oh yeah, those dudes will be back. Like they just tour the country just doing this shit, man. And so anyway, like one thing I noticed, man, so I'm sitting here like drinking this coffee or whatever, and a few people start to engage them, right? I mean, there's like some diehard Christians that are going up there, and there's like some atheists and stuff, and they're just like basically like they're yelling at each other, like screaming. They call the cops. Cops can't do anything. There's no violence. There's nothing going on. Just like
it's just a protest.
Yeah, essentially. Okay. And but dude, like there was like so many kids that were about ready to come to fucking blows, man. Like dudes showed up with like Bibles, and they were just like, "You are like preaching this message all wrong." I was like, "Oh shit, turf war!" Like, you know, like I was thinking celebrity deathmatch, like ding ding ding. Now we're nice clean fight. Let's get it on. So, like rip the fucking head off or some shit. But so then like it was kind of fucking sad, like to watch a little bit of. So one thing I noticed was only the men engaged with people, and only men carried signs and actively like protested. Was
there women there?
There was women there. Their wives were there.
What were they doing?
So these guys dressed in a typical like Pentecostal fashion. Once again, like I don't have a problem. Like live your life however you want.
Slacks, long sleeve shirt type stuff, collared shirt, or
yeah, like blue jean dresses, like down to the ankles. Like
the women.
Yeah, the women.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the women. Sorry. So no makeup. Hair can only be styled like in 3 different ways, right? I mean, you look like think Little Fucking House on the Prairie shit, right? And that's what you're looking at.
Okay.
And they had the women completely segregated, like at their own like tables and stuff, and the young children were with them. And they had dudes that.
So they brought the whole fucking family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because their women can't like be away from them.
Oh, all right.
Shit.
They can't be trusted.
Slamming ass across town. Yeah. Trying to fight off these. I'm trying to beat off these gays. There you go. That's a play of words. So anyway, man, and then so the young children are like with the women, right? Like the young ones, you know, like 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5 or 6-year-olds, whatever. But what I did see is I did see a lot of young boys, like 10, 11, 12, like holding signs. Like I saw one kid, he could not have even been 13, and he was holding a sign that said "God hates faggots."
So they're basically indoctrinating them from as soon as they're able to hold the picket sign, they're out there on the front lines.
Yep.
Okay.
So those guys are pieces of shit. So if you ever want to come out to Southeast Texas, it's a great fucking place to visit. It's on fire, and there's a bunch of weird, I don't know, religious fanatics. You know, I guess to call them on them. But I don't know. I just don't see how people can get like so caught up like in stuff like that or whatever. I mean, shit.
I mean, that becomes their entire like reason for living. I feel like,
yeah,
like they don't do it. Like they obviously don't do anything else if they're touring the country on a goddamn mission trip about teaching people about hating fags. Like,
yeah, I wish I could remember the fucking other signs or whatever, man. But like, dude, it was just like crazy shit. But the one that really stood out to me was the child carrying a sign that said "God hates fags" and the one that said "AIDS is the cure." I was like, what the fuck?
So like, what? It's like they're just promoting messages of hate.
Yes. I think they're using it as a shock factor to get people engaged, and then they try to preach to people.
But unless you're already like heavily leaning into that shit, you're not going to want to hear what they have to say.
Exactly.
And like, I just don't see how that can't be fucking effective.
I don't think it
like
is.
If you go to a goddamn university where traditionally people are way more open-minded than that in the first place, like what are you gonna maybe recruit like one maybe they're like, if we can get one person, that's better than nothing.
Yeah, they look for that weak-minded person, that person that needs like something to identify with and like a sense of purpose and all that. I mean, it might be 1 out of 100 people they can get, man, but if they travel around enough and they do it enough, like eventually those numbers add up.
Yeah.
But most cults fail. I guess they kind of all fail eventually.
They've been doing that shit for a while though.
But I think like I read an FBI statistic. They estimate that at any given point in time in America, there's 25,000 cults. So, but it's kind of like the definition of a mass shooting. Like 3 people have to get shot.
Yeah.
Right. So when they say cults, like you think hundreds of followers.
Yeah, but they could just be like some Facebook group of 5 people in there. Yeah.
You know, but yeah, man. Like I mean, they're definitely interesting people. Like, would you go to one of their church services?
Just to see, like, I would be curious to see what the fuck goes on in there.
Yeah. That like I would go one time, just like the Church of Wales. I would go one time just to see. Yeah. Like, are they fucking snake handlers? You know, that crazy shit? You seen that fucking shit?
That stuff's cool.
Yeah, there's a couple of churches out in Kentucky that do that shit, man. They'll pull like a fucking rattlesnake out of a fucking cage, shake that shit up, and be like, if you believe in God, this shit ain't gonna bite you.
Yeah,
and then they kind of
get that motherfucker away from me.
Yeah, dude. Oh, they'll drink poison on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a few cases of people dying from that.
No surprise.
Yeah, they dilute it down and shit. And but you'll see the guys when they drink it, they take like little sips or whatever.
You're like,
yeah, and then they're like raising their hands, like, because they take some shit out of context that essentially just says that, like, in the Bible, that if you're a believer, then basically poison won't affect you and snakes can't kill you. And I don't know the quote, but
wow,
it's in
okay.
there. I've heard it before. I went to some creepy ass churches when I was a kid.
I've gone to a Wiccan service before.
Oh, how was that?
Stupid.
Just the dumbest shit.
I mean, I don't mean the shit on the religion, but the experience I had was fucking stupid.
I don't know, man. Have you seen our followers? I gotta imagine not a lot of Wiccans are on this page, so you probably get away with shitting on them.
The one time I went, okay, it was like, it was probably 12 years ago, and I went, and it was an important time for them. It was like I don't know, changing of a season or a moon or a fucking equinox, one of those motherfucking things.
Yeah, it's usually like equinoxes that they freak out about. Or solstice.
Yeah, so one of those goddamn things. Anyways, had no effect on me, by the way. But so we fucking put goddamn confetti into a plastic egg and then chanted around in a circle and shook it around and sang this goddamn song. And I was fucking done after that.
Where the fuck did you find this church, dude?
Dude, it was out, it was in San Antonio.
Were you just like bored on a Tuesday? And you're like, I'm gonna go check this shit out.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd just tell me you're dating some weird chick. And then it's like the shit dudes will do to get laid.
No, I've dated chicks like that, but I never went to church with them.
Yeah.
But
I've ran into like some crazy people in the past. Usually it's women. And like, try to like sell you crystals and shit. You know what I mean? Like I've like, shit, dude, when I took that trip to fucking Portland, there was a woman I was in like just a casual bar. It's more of a restaurant, really. Having like a couple of beers or whatever, trying some like craft beer up there. And this woman was like a straight up, like she came in, basically talked to everyone. She was selling shit, right?
Okay. Like
out of her purse, basically. And like identified herself. She's like, I'm a witch and I'm a medium, like a psychic. And so she was like pitching fucking crystals and tarot cards and all this other shit, like trying to read shit. I was like, I ain't fucking doing any of this, man.
I mean, the tarot cards, they look cool. I like the designs of them.
Have you ever gotten a tarot card reading?
No.
I have. I've done it several times, actually.
Do you think it's legit?
Man, this is a drawn out topic. Kinda? Question mark? All right, so like, you know me, like I study chemistry in college.
Yeah.
So like scientific method all the way, facts. That's the only thing that actually like is rooted in ground. Like that's the only thing that really stands. But especially when you get into quantum mechanics, man, there's a lot of shit we can't explain, dude. A lot of weird stuff starts happening when you get down to that like subatomic level. And I just think that there's some sort of force or power, you can call it God, you can call it whatever you want, in the universe that kind of strings everything together. And there's like new stuff coming out that kind of supports this shit. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe in coincidences, and I think everything kind of happens for a fucking reason. I do believe that. Yeah, and I think sometimes, different religions can kind of tap into whatever that force is, whether it's through like meditating or prayer or whatever it may be, And I think a lot of that is just kind of essential to like the human condition, the human soul, you know what I mean? Because, you find motherfuckers that at least don't like fucking meditate or some shit or pray or whatever. Like they're usually just like, like, but like the guys who actually do pray regularly and meditate, they're usually pretty chill guys. You know what I mean? I don't know. It could be full shit. I
don't know, man. I think like it's everyone's fucking different. So everyone needs like, whether you need something to lean on, whether you need something to hope for or like look forward to, like everybody needs something in that aspect. Otherwise you're just fucking doom and gloom. Like,
yeah, like depressing. I guess that was better. You said it better than what I did, but yeah, I think it's like me, it gives you hope. I
mean, I don't know. Like, I figure whenever I die, I'm just gonna fucking die. Like, I don't believe in anything.
Yeah.
So, but I don't care. Like, I enjoy life. I enjoy the shit that I'm doing now. So I don't really fucking care like if I die after that and nothing happens, cool. Like I expect that to happen. So, but I'm not planning for a future that I don't know exists.
That's like
I don't care. I just want to live my life and do what I want to do now.
That's like the Lutherans.
Really?
Yeah, so like they're Christians, right? Believe in God, believe in Jesus, all this other stuff. They believe like when you die, it's lights out. That's it. It's over. There is no like heaven. There's nothing beyond. Like, it's just, boop, you just recycled. You know, so, but I don't know, man. I mean, you know me, I'm optimistic. I like to think there's something out there, dude, you know?
I mean, in a perfect world, I would like to believe in reincarnation. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at it, I mean, it's scientifically true. To some degree, there's a basis. So, I mean,
if I could choose, I would like to at least have my memories from this life. I know that typically doesn't work that way. Although some people say they can remember their past life.
Yeah, there's some weird shit out there, man. Yeah. Where people have like recalled some like, especially
that's fucking
kids
cool.
will be like talking about
dude.
it. You'd be like, what the fuck is that guy?
Or they'd be like, I saw one. It was like some kid, and he was like, "Yeah, I died in a house fire," and he like remembered specific details. They looked it up, and there really was some person at that time that he said like, and it all added up. And the kid was like 6 fucking years old, like had no way of knowing that shit ever fucking happened.
Imagine if your kids started talking like that one day. Like, good luck going to fucking sleep that night, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I'd be like fucking freaking out, dude. I'd play it cool in front of the kid, you know, but like I'd go back in the room, like shut the door and be like, oh, we gotta pack our shit. Like, Jesus Christ. Like fucking digging in the closet for a Bible. Coming there looking like a fucking priest from the Exorcist movie. Oh my God. I watched Scary Movie 2 the other day. You remember that one?
Yeah, that one's fucking.
You remember the intro, like the opening, where it's like they're making fun of the Exorcist or whatever, and like James Woods shows up.
Yeah.
And he's like the priest, and as soon as he walks in, the girl turns her head around, and then he just goes, "What the fuck?" And like tries to run out, and then like his little like assistant or whatever is like, "Father, think of the child." And he's like, "Did you just fucking see that?" Like he's like freaking out, he's all cussing and shit. He's got like a cross hanging from his chest.